What's up, guys? Sorry about that. I was trying to find my what would I call it? My benzo voice. Michael Morgan, what is up? I'm playing with voice effects, guys, trying to find my perfect cadence for my broadcast voice to bring the Benjamins in. I'm kidding. Roman M, what is up, brother? We got Mimo in the house. Let me turn this music down. Let me do this. I apologize, guys. My goal is to be more attentive tonight, be focused, hang out, see what's up. Thomas McDonald, Brother Roman M, and find out what you guys want to talk about. Angelo, what is up? And we got Colby in the house. We got Mimo, who I said hey to earlier, but I could be wrong. We got Brother Roman M, my man Angelo, who I think I saw early this morning before I fell asleep watching The Night's Edge. I'm really digging him. Colby, and I'll tell you whose channel I'm gonna push for next Friday's giveaway. And I just decided today because I saw a video. We'll look at it in a second, but it's Mac EDC. It's a lady who's married to a knife guy who's turned into a knife guy, and she was at the Blade HQ opening today. We'll look at the video in a second, and she met a legend in the game. Uh, God, why am I going blank? Somebody throw it in the comments who saw it. Something pants. God, why am I going blank? This is old age, guys. You're seeing it unfold, but it was actually. Let me just find it. It was not fancy pants. God dang it. Let's see. Type. All right, where is it? MPG EDC right there. All right. So I'm going to share this right here. And she evidently went to wherever the Blade reopening is. And again, her husband got her into the game, but nothing fancy. That's who it was with.
We're live. Go ahead.
Hey
Check it
guys,
out.
MPG EDC here with Nothing Fancy.
What's up?
He was actually before my time, but I've watched several of his videos. He is a, yeah, Jay, it is. It was going to be Lefty and we usually every other Saturday we have an off the edge, which is usually he and I and maybe somebody else, right, from the community. But he's been, he's doing the next step in dadhood, being a double dad, and he's working and he's doing stuff around the house. So I always tell him, I'll hold the fort down. If you want to join, you join. Also casting it out to Brother Dark Gravity. I don't know if I sent Scotch and things one, but if he pops in, I will. I hate to take him away from his family 2 nights. And Pocket Metal, unfortunately, is still busy, and has his in-laws in visiting, which is awesome, but I'm sure busy. Delaney, what is going on? Paul Mills, my brother. We got Jake Horse Cotton, channel member. Sorry, guys. Coughing up a lung from earlier. That's why when I put on the intro music, even though it's not real fancy, that's when I'm hitting my vape because I can't do it like in the first 5 minutes or something. I don't know. I will tell you this. Remember last night, any of y'all who were here, we were watching the Ryan Garcia fight just for a second. And I had the music on where they were like doing the commentary. And I said, oh, we're screwed. So my video was up for 7 minutes and I got the red copyright strike and I had to go in. It makes it really easy. You can just either delete the sound or trim out the objectionable part and I always just trim it out. So if you watch that live back and you see a weird jump edit, it's because I let YouTube take it out. And then within a couple of hours it was fine again. But it was a lot easier than when you get them flagged, which turns them yellow because they think you did something against terms of service or that's not advertiser friendly. And I have to do a manual review on all those. And the bad thing about that is not that it matters. I do it for fun anyway, but they got a game going where it takes up to 3 days for them to manually review it. And I've not had, knock on wood, one that wasn't overturned to make it okay. But by the time they've done that, since they were all on lives, everybody had watched it, right? That was going to watch it. So it's just, it's their playground. I'm going to do my very best not to do crazy stuff, not to, you know, get myself in trouble, get the channel in trouble, just because I enjoy hanging out here. Guys, I think it was 2 years ago, mm, maybe a little older, maybe closer to 3, when I re-upped this channel that started in 2010. And let's see, I started posting shorts because we were getting ready to do our first ever Knives Live, which we didn't do last year. We will do it this year. I've talked to Shane about it. He's going to try to help me organize it because it's a whole lot to organize all the prizes. And it's a 24-hour stream where we get 24 different creators to do an hour at a time, bring Doug Ritter on a couple of different hour slots that work around his schedule because he's an older guy, and then promote knife rights. And what we do is we get manufacturers, and Lefty's big integral part of this as well because he reaches out to his contacts, all the companies, and gets like $3,000 to $5,000 prize packages that we're able to give away. And the way we do that is anybody who makes a $5 donation to Knife Rights and sends us the receipt, you're entered. If you donate and or get a membership, which is $25, you get an extra entry form. So the goal is twofold, threefold: to spread awareness to kniferights.org because they are fighting in states, and it's just 3 guys that fly around on a moment's notice. So they have to get plane tickets that aren't like people that plan vacations. It takes them, they have to, they find out a bill's getting voted on or voted down. They got to mobilize. So they have to buy the most expensive tickets. Anyway, we're going to do that again. It was a lot of fun. A couple of people stayed up the whole 24 hours. I did pass out. What was I looking for? Somebody help me. I was going to find something. My ADHD brain is going nuts, but I was going to show you guys something on YouTube. What was it? What was it? We looked at MBG, and I'm going to throw her up again because I'm getting ready to push her for a giveaway next week because I really like her content, and she hung out with Nothing Fancy today, and pocket checked him, which I thought was ballsy. I was going to show you guys something. I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was anything on my page. Maybe it was something in my history. Let me see if something just strikes my memory. We saw the Nothing Fancy. Called it a great video on the Riot T6000. I think it surprised him how big it was. And y'all don't hate on me for my crazy playlist. Anybody know who that is? I'm gonna quit sharing. Keep in mind, I'm 57 years old. I'll be 58 in July. And I know that was Kai Cent. People are probably going, who the fuck is Kai Cent? Biggest streamer on Kick, was the biggest streamer on Twitch. He pulls in anywhere between 20 and 70 grand a day. Streaming video games, and he's got a huge audience, right? So his reach, i.e., the people he can influence, which he doesn't really influence, he just keeps their eyes on the Kick platform because he's entertaining. And right now he's in the middle of a super long stream. So you'll see weird shit like that because I find it fascinating. I find if you talk to, and my daughter's right above the age because I can't get her to get involved in social media. But if you talk to any kid under the age of 14 and ask them what they want to do when they grow up, I think it's something like 80% want to be influencers or they want to be um, drop shippers, brand ambassadors. Nobody wants to be doctors. Nobody wants to be astronauts. These kids aren't dreaming to be the next big thing. And I urge you guys, just good information. If you're up Saturday mornings, which I rarely am, sometimes I go to bed right before this starts. It's called Live from the Garage, and it's the Night's Edge. Very engaging. I started talking to him right when his channel started, a little after, but he asked a couple of questions that I was happy to answer, and he's a super nice guy, and I recommend his content. And this morning at 9:30, I think is when it started, I was talking to people like Gons, Rochambeau, B. Shady, uh, Jim Miller, all the people that we see in all these lives were hanging out. He's a great host. I can't pump him enough. And that's where I actually met and became aware of that MPC EDC because I'm slow. What's up, Bluetooth Blaze? I'll see people in the chat and I'll acknowledge them. My brain, guys, it's not because I don't appreciate each and every person. If I like go, Delaney, I'm drawing a blank, but I know I see Delaney in here last few times at least. But my brain is real bad ADHD. I usually sleep on and off during the day, and I'm a night owl, right? So I'm like living most people's 10 a.m. right now. So you just got to forgive me. Palmer Conley, what is up? Or you don't have to forgive me. I'm just explaining my atypical brain. Rob 10 ring, what is up? You just saw Dinosaur Jr. How was it, man? Yeah, you don't want to carry and have to get turned away and either walk back to your car or determine that I shit canned. It was a really good Swiss Army knife in 89 in Alpine Valley at a dead show. And the only reason I had it is because it had the scissors on it. It was a little one, and I used it to cut doses, the little blotters. And I had to throw it away. I was like, whatever. So then I didn't get to hit any halves. I just had to eat whole doses. Delaney, thank you, dude. My channel is very, very rudimentary. It's very subjective in that I watch channels like Stasa or Knees or Roll Shampoo if I want to see really hard cut tests or blade retention tests, but I really don't because I really just use my knives in the city to open up packages. So usually what you see from my videos is just how a knife makes me feel, right? And if you look back at my playlist, I don't show them as much as I did, but I was 2.5 years ago when I joined the community or found the community, I should say, and started hanging out in live streams. I was buying only Civivis and I was huge, huge into the Kaiser Vanguard. And every now and then when I got a chance, I'd get one of their blade series, which is the titanium. And I've given most of those away. But now, and I never thought I'd want a hinderer, or I never thought I'd want I didn't need it, right? Because the inexpensive knives are so good. But if you keep an open mind, I did everything from swearing off. Only did flipper knives when I started and loved every one of them. Still do appreciate them. Swore I'd never get a fixed blade. Now I'm addicted to little fixed blades. Slip joints didn't interest me. I know now because I talked to my therapist about it and I remembered it. My dad reminded me of it. When I was 8, I cut my finger and then got an ass chewing from my dad because I wasn't supposed to be playing with his knife. So it was a double whammy and it scarred me. So I just never even considered a slip joint being part of my collection. Now I've got like 12, maybe 14. Marisol, what's up? Double D10, what's up? So just keep your eyes open, watch a lot of different people. You'll find the people that you vibe with. And what you'll notice is as you go through the hobby, if you're like me, because keep in mind, I've got real bad adult ADHD. I didn't get diagnosed till I was 46. And I was like a guitar player, I'm a skateboarder, but I did these things in huge blocks of time where I would like fucking accumulate. Like I've got 14 setups of longboards. I've got a whole touring rig with multiple amps and guitars that I'll never tour ever. Just won't happen. But it was my gig, right? It's what I was into before I found knives. But the difference with the knives is I found the community. I found you guys in the chat, started out in Grateful Panic's chat. That's where I met Shane. That's where I met Dark Gravity. That's where I met, I mean, just so many of you guys. And then that's where I met Stevie. I think his first live was on with Grateful Panic. But you might notice that we got something different here tonight. And I didn't know if y'all would be interested. Usually I just throw out knives. But I thought we could take apart this button lock raccoon if we wanted to. Or we could use, I've not tried one of the K series TS Profs, but this is the TS Prof Blitz 360. These you can find on Amazon, I don't know, 350 bucks. It's very expensive, but it's billet aluminum. It's got adjustments. I'll show you guys when I go from an Atomi 60 or 6 millimeter stone to a Veneve 8 millimeter stone. I've got to find a adjust knob where I don't have to change the angle once I've dialed it in to the angle that I want to cut into the blade. And I've got a couple of knives. So I thought if we wanted to, Bluetooth blades, I'll never get rid of my amps or my guitars. I've got from the 90s when I used to play in a band from 91, maybe 89, a Fender Blues Deluxe. That's my main like go because it's heavy as fuck, but that's my main go play amp. Even have to mic it down or put on attenuator or whatever. But then I've got a pretty nice pedal board. It's set up with a Mutron. It's set up with a flanger. It's set up with a core. It's a Jerry Garcia Jam Bandy. It does have an overdrive. It doesn't have a distortion, but it's just that kind of pedal board, right? And I used to play acoustics. I still do. I've got an acoustic Paul Reed Smith here. I've got a Strat Plus Midnight Wine, like an 89 in the other room. And then I've got two other amps. I've got a little Yamaha that I play more than anything else. My little X10. I forget, it's a little cream colored amp. It's a great tabletop amp. And then I've got a little what's it called? I'm going blank. It's a British company, but it's a solid state version. Crazy Roach, I've actually got a plug in here, but I'm afraid if I play it that you guys won't hear it because last time I tried it, nobody could hear it. And I don't think I have anything uploaded, but I could. I'll tell you what I could do. I could upload something and let you hear it. But I'm just a hack now. I used to play with another guitar player. So all I got to do was like a little lingering lead or play partial rhythms, different registers where I wasn't carrying the whole song and playing the lead. And doing the troubadour thing, which I did in college some, I did in Colorado some, where you just sit and you play, whether it's in a bar or it's on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder trying to make a few bucks while you're tripping when you're a kid. Um, it's a different gig, right? I mean, it was definitely and what I tell people, my daughter is the one that I keep trying to get back into the guitar because she kind of hurt her fingers because if you don't stick with it on an acoustic, which I always tell people to learn on, if you don't develop your fingers and your calluses, it's real easy to get discouraged. But the trick is just making sure you get somebody to set up your guitar so it suits your style. And then you can move to an electric, move to anything. But it's just it's a lifelong thing that's kind of aided with my therapy because I'll go through times where I won't play for months because lately I've been diving into knives. Even though I've been on the longest Bluetooth blades. That is awesome. I am 50, I will be 58, and I did not start playing. And it's a story that is one of many of why my dad and I have it's weird. It was strained from the time that I quit hunting with him after my first experience with psychedelics, and I could no longer kill a dove because I wasn't eating them. And I was starting to understand girls. So we kind of broke off there. But one of the things that he really did is he never understood why I wanted to take my money, and at the time, I wanted to buy a Lotus cheap ass electric guitar and a little crate amp from the store right down the street when I was like 16, 17, because I really wanted to learn how to play it, and I taught myself. I never took a lesson, I should have, and I didn't have the internet when I was playing, but he always fought it, fought it, fought it. So finally, when I was in college, I came home one weekend, they were out of town, and I just bought the fucking thing. I never looked back. I mean, I've traded it. I've traded stuff that I wish. I had an Alvarez Yari YW1 that was a Bobware edition that the electronics were a little tinny sounding. Dual mic setup. It could have easily been fixed, and it's just the way it was set up because it was real thin guitar, but I loved it. Traded it. Should have kept it and just bought the Guild that I still got. Metal from the 70s, there was not much better Bluetooth blades. I mean, I played literally everything. What made me wanna learn was the first song that we learned was Birdsong from the Grateful Dead, Eating Fungus in Auburn, Alabama in 1987. We had just met the guys from Widespread Panic, which is another jam band that's now really big. They've blown up. But back in the day, we went to Auburn. They went to Georgia, Athens. They had just graduated. Two of them were still in school, but we would see them at the supper club. We were like early adopters, so to speak. So we'd help them load in. One weekend, they didn't want to drive to wherever they were going next. So we just had them. We were like 7 miles outside of Auburn. So we weren't right in the city. We had a nice spread, and they came out and they stayed with us, Mikey and JB. Super nice guys. I used to see them. I had every album up to, I had Love Gun, but when they did the Unmasked thing, they lost me. When Peter and Ace were gone, they lost me. And I know they got better probably as a result of cutting off Peter and Ace. But when I was a kid, I dressed up as Gene Simmons every year for at least 4 years, or Ace Frehley. I might have been Ace. I might have even been Peter Criss because me and my buddy was dress up. My mom would paint us. It was awesome. And the whole thing, Delaney, I mean, Kiss was great, and Kiss did something to me, and this is going to sound, I don't want it to sound harsh because I'm a Kiss fan. Kiss Destroyer was my first vinyl album. It wasn't my first vinyl 45, but it was my first album. My older cousin had it. The cover still resonates in my head. But Kiss, they always used to joke, they're not Satanists, they're capitalists. So they're not the greatest Led Zeppelin type of push the envelope band, right? They're not the Iron Maiden band. They're not a Ted Nugent band. They're not an AC/DC band. They're a band that found a niche in the in the glam, in the glitz, in the shock. Even though you look back on it, it's so mild before Ozzy, who had talent. Ozzy, especially in the Randy Rhoads era and after so. I mean, real talent. Kiss has some good songs, but Kiss brought together a lot of writers. Keep It Simple, Stupid. They did great. I think Gene Simmons is a fascinating individual. I think Ace is now a fascinating individual. He's got a lot of videos out on YouTube where he talks about how he and Peter felt fucked, basically because they started as four guys. And Gene, the amazing thing to me is Gene Simmons has never allegedly, because of his faith, had alcohol or drugs. He's got a major sex addiction, but he's never, ever had alcohol or drugs. They said Paul Stanley has had wine on a couple of occasions, but those guys were like groupie slaying fiends, but never, ever touched any substances. That's why they had the huge problem with Peter and Ace because they were drinking like crazy and embarrassing them on press releases or press tours and shit like that. And they felt like it was their deal because they were basically paying Ace and Peter. I don't think Ace and Peter were ever force. And if you think about it, Beth's probably their biggest commercial song. Now, I think Peter did have writing credits on that. But if you look at most Kiss albums, it's Simmons Stanley or Stanley Simmons, kind of like McCartney Lennon, right? The other guys could have been full band members, or as a dude was telling me today, my buddy A to Z EDC, I went and took his knives back and we were talking about Humphreys McGee's percussionist, and he wasn't on their satellite radio thing. And my buddy's also very he's a recording percussionist. And he said, well, he's probably not a member of the band. I was like, dude, he's at every freaking concert. I watch him all the time. He's like, he's just probably a contract musician, and he probably has been for years. He's probably happy with the arrangement. They're probably happy with the arrangement. And he probably might not contribute more than the beat. So there's a lot of stuff that's so weird. Agree. Agree. And I'll tell you something, Delaney. There are some groups that are legendary in how they made money. And the one that's lately fascinated me, and I don't know how much of it's folklore, but it's Led Zeppelin. And what was their manager's name? The real intimidated guy who I think's like a white Suge Knight, but even meaner because he was English, who would like hold venues hostage after a show because they wouldn't pay them all that they were supposedly contracted. And they had probably one of the best touring deals ever because of the percentage that they got. But what was that big guy's name? I'm gonna Google it. Peter Grant. Thank you. But Peter Grant would like stand up for those dudes, man. I mean, they ran. If I go back and I look at not heavy metal, because I know they're not considered really heavy metal. I think they kind of started it in a way. Maybe the Yardbirds started it. Maybe Elvis started it. Who knows? Maybe I think fucking why can't I think of his name? He died blowing chunks in the 20s. Robert Johnson. You never know who started heavy metal, but Led Zeppelin lived the frickin' life by their terms. And when they lost their drummer, they hung it up at their peak. And I don't know how much of it's the scaredness of what they tapped into that maybe Plant. I get the feeling that Plant Sabbath was awesome. I love Sabbath with Dio, but I'm a huge Ozzy fan. I mean, Dio doesn't hold, even though I have Holy Diver, Devo is nothing to Ozzy to me. Ozzy is the shit. And you know that old bastard can still sing. That's true. That's true. And it's an amazing story when they were going to sign their label. And y'all tell me if I'm off here, or the day before they were going on their tour. That's when Tommy snipped off his fingertip and put on that little prosthetic tip so he could still tour, which is horrible. At least Jerry's finger was on his strumming hand. It made him a better finger picker because he grew up playing bluegrass. He didn't have that muter to get in the way. But yeah, there was some great. I mean, I don't think there's been a time. I look at Van Halen's first album, and I know this sounds cheesy. Yeah, Dio's got a better range, but Ozzy's range. Well, Ozzy and Randy Rhoads, to me, were a hard combination to beat. Maybe that's just because when I saw them, um, I really identified with their chemistry, and I was flipped out because I was probably 12 or 13, maybe 14, maybe 15. But I was surprised at Randy Rhoads was my fucking size, and I was a 98-pound wrestler. I was a little dude, still am, but not that little. But both of those guys are great. I'm a huge fan, and I'll be the first to embarrass myself. I got into a little bit of Guns N' Roses, not much. I found them a little too glam, but I did get into some Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains was one of my favorites. I found them fresh as fuck. I love Nirvana. I loved a lot of that music that a lot of people find cringe, right? A lot of that grunge music I found as just a heavy, to me, heavy metal. And I know I'm wrong. Rainbow in the Dark is so good. And Holy Diver's a great song. And the album cover used to flip my mom out. And I love that about it. The one where the priest is drowning in the lake of fire and you've got the devil sitting there throwing the lasso at him. Great shit. But, did you guys ever get into Faith No More? And I'm not talking about Epic, the rap song, but the same band. I'm curious because I learned about them in, on that song, right? But then I started really, really, really following Mike Patton, who I think is one of the greatest singers. Have y'all ever heard Mike Patton sing? Yep, Epic's the one song, but he sings like a cover of Easy by Lionel Richie. I saw Billy Squier in concert right around the time his video came out that sank his career. Zach plays great. I'm not saying I don't like Zach Wild. I think he's more talented probably than Randy. Randy to me, just like for me, I'm a Widespread Panic fan. Jimmy Herring is a much more talented guitarist and technical guitarist. Michael Hauser was a self-taught, reckless, by ear guitarist, which to me, that roughness around the edges is what I like. And Billy Squier was good. He opened for Styx. But I'll tell you who I saw on the Diver Down tour, and my first favorite album was Van Halen 1. But Van Halen Diver Down, even though David Lee Roth was a douche, was an awesome tour. I saw that here in Huntsville. What's up, Kathleen Smith? Miss Told, what is happening? We're talking about 70s rock. We jumped over to 90s because we're trying not to think of anything in the 80s, even though that's when I went to high school. So in the 80s for me, unfortunately, there was some Michael Jackson thrown in there. I didn't get into the Dead until I went to college, which was 88. 85, 80, 86, it was REM, U2. But I'm trying to think in high school, it was shit like Def Leppard, uh, just weird stuff. Hungry Like a Wolf. Who was that? Um, those dudes from Australia. What was their name? Hungry Like a Wolf and Rio. Duran Duran. I mean, I listen to weird shit. Phil Collins, when he was putting out all his albums, the ones before they got to be real ballady, and old Genesis album. I was listening to weird stuff, but always loved classic rock, like the old Kiss albums, all the old Steely Dan albums, old Yes albums. And my parents didn't play that kind of stuff. I found it, and Doors. The Doors were my shit. I mean, I read everything Jim Morrison wrote, The Lords, The New Creatures. I don't say everything he wrote, but I read a lot of his poetry. And I always thought he was just a different level. He was an alcoholic, basically, but he was very well read. And I think he might have been possessed by an Indian ghost. It makes sense. Who's to say? Now they're talking about we really have aliens hanging around, running around Vegas. Who am I to say that Jim Morrison wasn't part Indian ghost? The Police were so freaking good right up to Every Breath You Take. I love everything they did, and I love Synchronicity. So I'm not hating on Police post Every Breath You Take, but the old stuff, just like for me, U2, October, and War, even Unforgettable Fire. And I even liked, as much as I hate it, the Joshua Tree. But those first albums, Bad, October, and like REM, Murmur, oh my God, y'all, welcome Panty Pirate. Look who's here. Look at that beard. Dude, I've not trimmed and it won't grow any longer. Yours is like 4 inches longer than the last time I saw you, and it hadn't been 3 weeks.
Well,
Do you tie it
I
up
can grow.
when you go to work? Do you put a band around it?
I mean, I could,
I didn't know if you
but
did. I didn't know if they had some kind of thing. What's up, Grosjean? I didn't know if they had, something where they'd like you to wear it in a ponytail or like, so you wouldn't
no, I
disturb the
don't.
machinery.
I don't. I don't work around moving machinery. Uh, that I know that if you work around the moving machines, they want you to keep it shorter.
Right.
But you're not supposed to stick your fucking head in the machine to begin with, and that's kind of the way they look at it.
Right, but they're liable if you happen to have a stupid day or you come in hungover and you stick your head in the machine and it sucks your beard. It goes back to the company, unfortunately, in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
I know.
And those videos are all over for some reason. And I don't ever, I guess I pause on them because I never click into them because I never want to hear the sound. But there's so much gruesome, I guess, what do you call it? Hidden camera or that surveillance camera footage of people getting fucked up by forklifts, fucked up
Yeah, we
rollers,
got
people
we
getting
got
pulled into
cameras all over
rollers,
the world.
people getting pulled into rollers, these big things, and I don't know what they're flattening, but they're these rollers that are about 20 yards long. And it looks like this lady's going down through there cutting, like something's coming out of there. It could be vinyl floor. I don't know. But she's cutting it with a razor knife and it grabs her arm and you see her
Hmm.
get pulled in there and just flipped around till it stops, till somebody hits the stop button. And by that time, she's like a rag doll, because
Yeah.
she's been pulled through that machine just because I guess it caught her knife or she got too close to where she was supposed to cut. It's just wild.
Well, that you need to stay off the internet because that stuff will scar your brain worse than it already is.
I don't watch it, and that's just on my Instagram feeds, buddy. If I scroll and all I click on
Oh, I know.
is the occasional Melissa Backwoods, I'm guilty, and Count of Sand, and then knife stuff. That's all I ever look at.
But I get uh, that stuff, and I don't. I mean, all of my stuff, I don't even. Every bit of it's knives and clothes of some kind. Uh, I guess the occasional fidget deal or something like that. Pins and stuff, but. I mean, mine's the same way, and I'll scroll through, and my suggested uh, reels or whatever, will be people getting shot, people getting, like you said, drug under, heavy equipment. And it's like, who the fuck? I don't want to watch this fucking shit. But I mean, I don't understand. It ain't got nothing to do with related to the things that I like and the things that I follow, but it ends up in my feed anyway.
And when I think about it, the stuff that I see and where you'll fall down a rabbit hole is if you click the explore button, which is the
Oh,
little
yeah.
reels, and then you just kind of scroll through reels because I'll see a lot of cats and stuff that I share out to my mom a lot, different things that
Yeah.
I like. But then I'll see a dude step in front of a truck, some Asian guy, right? And he gets just splatted. I mean, they don't show the splat, but he gets knocked against another truck. Or I'll see a lot of people fighting in the street, like closed circuit cameras of people outside of bars, like an MMA
Yeah.
fighter usually that's getting taken on by two or three guys that just lays waste to all of them. And I don't know why I get that content. I've
I don't know
seen
either.
the Cavol Shimano or Shimo Junior Miz. We'll look at it here in a second, but I've heard a lot of things that were not great about the Grant Gripper. Mine, and I don't believe in spine whacking because I hold my knife like this where I'm making the frame lock even lock up more. But mine is perfect. Let me look at the Cavol because I like their. I think Cavol knives are one that I would love to try.
I need to get somebody with big pockets, John, that's going to be a VIP at Blade Show.
What you need?
I want the Strider is dropping the CC SNG while he's at Blade Show.
Do you need it to be grabbed Friday? Are you gonna still possibly be able to go Saturday, or you think you're gonna be working?
Oh no, I'm my supervisor already knows I will not be there that Saturday.
Because I can get
Uh,
see Lefty gets in Thursday. Now I'll have to. He's supposed to be here tonight, but he's probably.
I'm scared to know what it's going to cost because the only one I've seen is double titanium, and I'm not paying $700 for it.
Do you have Scotch's number?
Well, Scotch ain't gonna. This is only gonna ain't gonna be released till Blade Show.
No, but he'll know what you can expect, I think.
I thought about that earlier about messaging him and asking him if he had an idea of what they're going to cost.
I would do that because he is he follows that stuff not only on the new market but on the secondary, and he can.
I'll say there's no CCs on the secondary.
No, I know, but he'll know because doesn't he have some of the nicer Striders you can get? I don't know much about him except he's got some of those crazy grinds.
Yeah, he's got customs. The CC is a knife that they made years ago, and they haven't made it in years.
Right.
Years and
He
years and
talked
years.
about that last night. Were you creeping last night at all? Because I think he even
No,
put that knife out.
he may have an old one. I don't know. No, I wasn't last night because I actually went to bed early because I've been working. I got to work tomorrow, 14 hours.
Dude, but I'm still not working. I'm working for this agency, but I'm not working as a salaried corporate guy, right? So I'm having to go out,
Yeah.
which I'm making progress, but it's just a totally different game. So this Cavol's a lot smaller, Junior Miz. If it was me, I'm a huge fan of the gripper. The gripper's going to be less expensive if you can find one. But this is 6.29 inches. The gripper is, where's my tape measure? I want to say it's closer to 9. Now, I would look at an EMP EDC Tripper V2. This is 8.5, the gripper. But what I'm a big fan of, it's probably my favorite EMP EDC, and I have no association with EMP EDC. And guys, even though you'll see affiliate links, I don't talk about companies because of an affiliate link. I talk about knives because I like knives. This knife right here. Let's see, why is it saying stock ready to ship? It's just sold out everywhere. They'll get more of these Nimbles or Nimble Tees. The reason I point it out is it's going to be around the same size. So it's it can't be right. 3.1 plus 4 inches. What's that? 5, 6, 7, 7.5.
Yeah.
So if we go 7.5 in the Cavol, which looks like
It's 6 point something.
I really want to try Cavol, but I don't know much about them. I've never on that hole. I can tell you right now, that hole scares me because anytime I get a big hole like that my finger flips through, I get that hot dog down the hallway feeling where I'll go to flip it, and instead of getting my friction or traction going out to flick it, it goes through the hole, and it's a very uncomfortable, scary feeling. I've not knock on wood cut myself yet, but it's a now that little knife, and maybe you asked me about the tripper. Oh, dude, I was grippering. Yes. A tripper, if you reach out to Jason, and I think he's still got some in stock, you can walk out with this, I'm thinking, for $150. And this is a Best Tech made knife, S35VN, hollow grind. I've never put skiffs in it, multiple deployments. about that same size, right? Really aggressive tonto. Or so you can throw another 50 or $60 at it, and you can get one where he takes a black. This is a blacked out tripper that he polished the flats on, and then he did a hollow grind. He's also done these in flat grinds, but I got him to take the tanto kind of out in a way. So I actually think the tripper is a much better value. I think you get more knife for your dollar, but I've never experienced a Cavill, and I've heard people say they're great knives. I've just never. They seem high to me, and I see them on Amazon, and it just makes me. And they're also all over AliExpress. Now, at a fair price, Homer, when a winter chicken dinner, you went out today, buddy. You and Chicago 23. I finally found Dark Gravity. Chicago 23 had been asking me if I had a detent ball and a spring for a smock. You know how they come with 2 detent
Yeah.
balls and 2 springs? And I took my second spring out in detent ball because I wanted that drop shed action.
You actually found it?
I found, well, it was in the box. I knew it was in the box.
Wow.
So I had to go, and I'm in the process of, I've got to buy the right containers. I want to get those collapsible ones like Jared found, but I want to find them somewhere easy like Amazon. But that's what Jeff keeps his boxes in. He's got like 2 of those big Tupperware things, right? And he just stacks his
Yeah.
boxes in there. So when I found my boxes, I've got scales like in my Yojimbo box. I've got a couple of scales in my smock. I've got a couple of scales in that little detent ball. So I put it in a couple of little plastic bags in an envelope and then tape the envelope all the way up because I don't have anything to mail little shit. That's why I have a hard time sending stickers out to members. I can send stickers to people all day long if they win a knife or something that I'm shipping out. It's not that I don't have them. It's just that I can't print 43-cent stamps from uh, pirate ship. I can't figure it out. And I used to do it on stamps.com all the time.
I've never tried to mail a letter, so I don't know.
Well, today I did a letter. It was a letter envelope, and that spring in that detent ball's tiny. And I had it double bagged in tiny little Ziploc bags. So the whole thing
Yeah.
weighed 0.6 ounces. I called it an ounce. And it was a 3 or 4x6 envelope. So it's like a invitation envelope. Weighed an ounce. I go into Pirate Ship, which finds you the cheapest rate, put in 4x6 envelope. It wasn't going far. It was going maybe to Chicago. $6.43. I would think it'd be
Holy
43
shit.
cents.
I would just go by the fucking post office.
I hate the post office. And see,
I do too, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I need to get some stamps. What I need to do is get a roll of stamps because most of those weigh under, a 42 or 46-cent forever stamp, whatever they cost, will send those type of things out. But pocket ship, I can go in and I can tell from when I used to remember when I could never ship shit, it would pile up and I'd
Yeah.
have to take it all to the UPS store and I'd pay hundreds of dollars. It shows me based on what I ship, and it's scary how much I spend, but how much I've saved by using pirate ship. And I believe that
Yeah.
because I've gone down, the UPS store will also let you ship USPS and they make like a small fraction. So the Clinton Street post office here is like one of the most busy in downtown Huntsville, chaotic. There's 1 or 2 clerks and 40 pissed off people in line. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
a freaking nightmare, dude. I'll go in there. I used to go in there and I'd get a bunch of those first rate boxes, come home, pack them up, print first rate labels. Once I got that little label maker, my life changed and I refuse to go back. Now, I might go back and throw $10 in there and get a roll of stamps because I can even put 2
Right.
stamps on. I just don't know what the weight limit is on stuff like that.
I don't know either right off. That's the reason I was thinking. you have to suck it up and take that one trip to the post office to find out
Yeah, well,
what it would cost you.
I have a feeling that there's got to be a way to do it on pirate ship because stamps.com, do you remember that program?
Yeah.
And you could print labels or stamps, or you could print a whole page of stamps. It would bill your account and you would
Yeah.
have these little stamps that you could pull off. So I would think that pirate ship wants the letter business too, right?
I would think so. I've just never, and I thought you could when I signed up for pirate ship, but of course I've never
You can
mailed a
do it.
letter style deal.
I did it today for the first time, and I used the regular letter label that we use for our boxes.
Yeah.
And I just put it on the little envelope that was 1 ounce, which might have been heavy. Maybe I should have put 0.6 or 0.4, whatever it was. But I did 1
When you're
ounce.
going that small, you should be a lot more accurate for that low.
Yeah, but
You know, like if you're,
I always feel like I need to go on the heavy side so it doesn't come back. I went through a stage with
well, it won't come back. They'll just charge your account more.
no, I've had Todd Carr had one issue with him that was weird because I've gotten stuff to him without even filling out custom forms. I'd sent Todd 2 knives, and then
Well,
I had
I
one
could
come
see them
back.
being more picky with it going to Canada.
Right, but then I also had because what I've learned I was doing, I was pricing it first rate, but I was putting it in my blue envelopes, so it wasn't in a UPS box or USPS box. And so they try to deliver it. I track it all the way across the country. It'd come back. So
Yeah.
I've learned some of the tricks, but it might have only been $3.46. It seems like it should have been less than 50 cents to ship that little tiny spring and that little ball.
Well, but it sounds like what they charged you for it was the media mail price.
Very possibly.
Because the size, because what it did sounds like it did is the description you gave almost sounds like a CD
Right.
or a
And
DVD.
I'll pull it up, but guess how much as of July 14th, 2024, a first class mail for Everstamp is going to cost? I think they're 42 cents last I checked.
I thought they were 50 something cents, but they're going up to like 60 cents.
73 cents.
Oh, 73. Wow.
73 cents on July 14th. This is an increase of 5 cents from the previous price of 68 cents. Forever stamps never expire, even if the postage rate increases. So those are the ones that are kind of a gamble. That might not mean that all stamps are that expensive. Those are the ones. Michael Upchurch, thank you, buddy.
I remember when stamps were a lot cheaper, but that's the thing is they make all of their money now through Amazon. They don't even make money through people like me. Like I said, I did my taxes a month or so ago, and last year just in postage, I spent like almost $20,000.
Dude, that's 10 times more than me. So do you mind me asking just a ballpark? And it can be a 10,000, it can be, I mean, I don't want to direct. I mean, how much goods do you think you were able to sell? Not what you cleared, but your gross sales approximately.
Well, I know I can't remember exactly what my gross, because
or your net,
shipping,
either way.
well, the reason I tell you this, my shipping cost with eBay is figured into my gross payout.
Right, because you've got it set up as a cohesive unit.
Right. Like if I sell something for $100 plus $10 shipping, eBay takes out their fees, but gives me that lump sum of money.
Right.
And so then I pay the shipping, and the $20,000 almost that I spent last year, that was the printout from Pirate Ship. Plus the receipts were before I started using Pirate Ship, before I got my own thermal printer and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and my receipts from the post office.
But it sounds like a great business for you. I mean, if your shipping costs are that much, that's huge, dude.
My gross last year, well, say shipping is a third of what I make.
And you did it for 6 months last
Um,
year? You say last year. You didn't do it all last year, did you?
I did it from April, my first regular listing, because I've sold knives and
Yeah,
different
but I'm
things in
talking
the
about
past on eBay.
the
But
clothes.
as far as my little side hustle, the first thing I listed was April 27th of last year.
So about a
And
little over a month ago, a year ago.
yep, and I grossed from April 27th through December 31st. The gross was $53,000.
That is unfreaking.
And then, but like I said, I spent over a third of that in shipping.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and so, and then when it was all said and done, I netted 23,000 and some change, or 22,000 and some change.
But think what you netted in education and what to look for. And
Oh, it's
even though you were
well.
putting
That's
a
why I
lot of
was.
time in it because y'all were having it as kind of a joint hobby, think of what you could do if you wanted to really focus on it. Like,
Well, the problem I would have is not uh, knowledge; it's availability. Because like today, I went and I was out all day, and I got enough stuff to list for the week.
how
Uh,
many stores do you guys just on the big net in a month feel like you hit different opportunities to
I
find
don't.
things?
I,
Is it
I
20?
don't go to. I don't go to different stores.
So you're not going to Goodwills and stuff like that?
No, I've got. Um, I go to. Well, I do sometimes. I won't say I don't, but I've found a way to source stuff by the pound, and so I get my stuff by the pound.
So you've got a company that deals in this type of stuff.
Uh-huh.
You're buying it kind of like a grab bag, like a TSA knives, for lack of a better term, or do you know what you're getting in your poundage?
I know what I'm getting. It's called a rag house, and what it is the company that I work for buys rags from a place over in Decatur that sells cut up T-shirts. But what they do is they buy clothing by the bale, and so it's a 6 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot bale of clothing, and they buy it from Goodwill or thrift stores. I won't say good because I don't know if they buy it from Goodwill or
Do
not.
they plan to repurpose it if they don't sell it? Is that the goal?
Well, they divide it. And what I do is I go to where they separate it. It's separated into clean T-shirts, like your Walmart white Hanes T-shirts, as an example, will go into one pile. All of your clean, not like this shirt here is covered in, it's got graphic print all over it.
So it's
I don't know
got
if you can.
dye.
Well, it's the print, so you can't turn it into a rag. So it gets separated over in another pile. Your blue jeans and denim jackets and Carhartt canvasy, type stuff gets put over in another pile. Leather, fake leather, all that kind of stuff gets put in another pile. It gets separated out, and then they sell bulk of that. I don't know who they sell it to because that's beyond. They're not going to tell me where they're selling this stuff to. But they, I'll go through and look for T-shirts, jackets. I go through all of it, and
How
I
often
just
do you go by somewhere that's that big? I mean, do you do it through a membership or is it just something you know about?
they allow me to do it because the company I work for is huge,
I got you. So
and
you're networking.
yeah, it's one of the company I work for is one of their biggest customers, and so they're not going to piss off their biggest customer in town.
So
And not that I have any power or influence at my work to control where they buy their fucking shop rags, because that's what they are, is their shop rags.
right.
Uh,
But you found
but
out from your company an
well,
opportunity to get in before they're turned into shop rags, and you probably get
right.
it cheaper than you would find it at Goodwill if you
Oh
find one.
yeah,
And
way cheaper than what I could get it at Goodwill.
and you've got to be amazed at how much you've done in a year, not really
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
what you were doing. I mean, to me, that those kind of numbers are exciting. I mean, that's the
Well,
kind
see,
of thing.
the thing about me is I know men's clothing. I've been doing men's clothing since I was a teenager
Right.
because you remember Unclaimed Baggage used to be in Decatur next to the movie theater on 6th Avenue. Well,
Dude,
see,
every other week.
I I started going there when I was in high school, uh, and started flipping clothes then to people that I went to school with. I'd go over there and get like Tommy and Polo and stuff like that. You know, Nautica. You know, brands that were popular back in the late '80s, early '90s. Guess,
Dude,
and I would bring them back to school and
I'd
sell them to
find
people at
ABEC
school.
11 skateboard wheels, like 8 sets that
Yeah,
hadn't opened, that must have been in like
a
a
trucking,
rep,
a shipment.
well, no, a rep's bag, because this is mainly, I think most of this comes from baggage, right? It's not as much freight.
Well, no, it's freight. It's mostly freight.
Okay,
If
because
you find a if you find a bunch of the same thing,
it's
it's
freight.
freight. If you
But
find a bunch of random shit,
little fines, like
then
those wheels, there were only like 4 sets in the whole store. And when I was talking to one of the young
yeah,
guys, and at the time I was in my 20s, he was probably in his 30s, and he said, I think, and this was just his personal opinion, is most of the stuff like the watches and the little bags that they buy, people probably had drugs in them or something that kept them from wanting to claim that bag. Because
possible.
he
Yeah.
says 95% of lost baggage within like 3 days, they can track it to the owner. Now it's up to the owner
Well,
to
yeah,
answer
you got
the
to.
phone.
I've flown enough to know you got tags hanging on it.
Yeah, but if it
Unless
doesn't
some
show
freak
up,
incident happens,
if it doesn't show up at the turnstile and you've got something in there you're not supposed to have in there, you're
you're
probably
not
gonna
going to ask for it.
you're not gonna
Yeah,
ask for it, and you're gonna think something happened, and if they call you about it, you're gonna be like, "I didn't lose a bag." Yeah,
yeah.
so I think it was a cool place. I haven't been there in a long time, but just the thought of those numbers, because you can't be putting in, and I know you put in a lot of time because you don't have any free time, but if you look at how much time your day is and how much you're
Well,
allocating to making 40 grand. And I know
well,
it's not being able to find it as much, but there's probably places that you can on the internet
uh,
network and get stuff from Tennessee, from Vermont, from
oh yeah, you can. But as far as doing that side hustle, uh, I actually don't spend as much time. It seems like I do, but that's because I work 10 hours, 12 hours a day with my real job. And so when I get done with that and I come home, like, with trying to do the Friday nights with you or do anything of that nature, uh, I like yesterday, I worked until 6 o'clock. Well, I come home, I eat, I take a shower. Then I had to do trigonometry homework with Noah.
doesn't that drive
And,
you mad? I mean, the way that they
and then, plus I had to do pictures and get information for stuff so I could list stuff today. And then I got up this morning to go to do yard sales because it's the only day of the week I get to source anything is usually Saturdays. And so I went this morning, I did some yard sales, and then I went to the place over in Decatur where I buy it by the pound. And then I come home, I had to do more homework with him because he had more homework that needed to be done. And then I ate, I did the pictures, and now I'm on here, and I got to get up and go to work. I got to get up at 4 o'clock and go to work again tomorrow.
but it's gotta be, I mean, that's a blessing, dude. I know you're busting your ass, but I know you're needed. Guys, I almost did not graduate from Auburn because of college algebra. I had to take it 4 times. I was great at mathematics, but when it got into algebra and they made you memorize the formulas and not be able to write them down, I got caught cheating several times. But I said it wasn't cheating. I thought I could have the formula written in my notebook. But my brain didn't let me memorize that. I can memorize Chaucer's preamble to the Canterbury Tales in Old English, and I still know it. Vandan April with the Sura Sutta, the drought of March hath pierced to the ruta. It's taken up brain space, but I cannot remember the most simple algebraic equation. And I was one of those people that said, we're never going to need this for anything because we didn't have computers back then. I didn't know anything about complex statistics. My granddad, and I know there's a lot of questions if we went to the moon or not, but he was a NASA scientist who was director of launch. And he talked about how important math and equations were. And I just never got it. It always just was like in one ear and out the other. But some people are just gifted with numbers.
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't use math, and that's where it takes me 10 times longer to do math homework with Noah than it would otherwise.
Do you
I
ever
don't,
use
I don't,
YouTube or a company called what's that academy that Brittany and I used to
well,
use?
usually with it, I just go through it, because his stuff will have examples, and usually if I can find the formula, I'll either Google what the formula is, or because I don't remember the formulas. That's all it is I don't use it, and so I don't remember the formulas to figure out different problems. I have to look the formula up, but once I look the formula up, it usually takes me a try or two, because
It took
what
me
happens is I don't read the question all the way through like I should, and that's where I screw up most of the time. Is I half-ass the fucking question, and I end up getting the wrong answer, and then I go back and read the question again, and I'm like, oh shit, I know where I screwed up, and then I read the question correctly, and then I can help him and show him how to do it. And usually he gets it usually after one or two shots, just like I do. It just takes,
I'm going to
you
send you a
know,
link to
me
this
breaking
Khan
it down.
Academy, khanacademy.org. It's a free site and you can give like tips, but you don't have to. And you can go in here and you can say, all right, trigonometry. Do you have anything that you can remember specifically what y'all did last night?
No, it's
Tree, and it's going to tell me it's misspelled. And then if I search it, it brings all these different courses. So once you know what the homework's about, right? So if you find out it's right angle trigonometry word problems.
see, this is why you can't do math, John, is because you have random ass shit like this in your head.
No, this right here, though, I'm telling you, I can't remember. I can't
But
memorize.
that's what I'm saying is I've never even heard of Khan
Khan
Academy,
Academy, let me tell you something.
and your daughter is grown, and you're sitting here telling no, the math cheat place.
Good. It's not a cheat. It's just a place to get videos. Like I learned stuff about writing a pro forma. You can do stuff on Excel spreadsheets. I want to learn Excel.
Oh, okay.
I
So
want to learn.
it's
Every
general
day,
education.
and
Yeah, it's everything.
free source. It's free source. So, like, let's say knife making. I doubt there'll be anything on that. But there might be.
There's a couple of schools that teach it.
Whole cut with a kitchen knife. How do we make blood clots? I mean, it's using search, but it's all.
How do we make blood clots?
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff's pulling different stuff just out of the
Yeah,
like say you wanted to master Excel, Microsoft. But
I
what
hate
Brittany and I
computers.
would do, because Brittany's teacher told us about this, and said, we can help you with the little because it was all done through the electronic system, right? So they're
Yeah,
like, you can watch the videos in there, but a lot of them are dated. And this Khan Academy is the shit. I mean, because you can go in here by courses, exercise, articles. You can choose your different, type. You can do test preps. You can do life skills. It's good stuff. Why is it not? I guess it doesn't have anything on Excel.
it
But you can,
probably Microsoft probably restricts their ability to teach it. I can picture Microsoft doing that
yeah,
because I know when I took Microsoft Excel, because you had to take some computer class when I was in school, and I don't forgot what you had. What is it? Microsoft Excel was part of it. That fucking book was like $300.
Oh, I know. And see,
You know,
this has all these different lessons on the third law of motion, for example.
We're now ready for new.
So if you want to just learn basic shit about anything, you can, and you can go over here and pull down courses. Look at all these courses. What grades
but say like it makes sense for your grandfather to use math because I mean they're using it to figure out the angle that the speed that the shuttle or the rocket needs to be traveling
wish he
at
was
when it
alive.
leaves orbit. And then they also have to figure that out when it re-enters where it's going to end up so they can go pick them up. I mean,
I'm
there's
hearing
a
more and
lot
more
of math to
stuff
that.
that makes that sound fishy, how far away it is. But like, what grade is he in?
Noah,
Yeah.
he's in the seventh grade.
So you can go here by seventh grade. So
Well, he's taking AP math.
So let's see if we have AP in here. AP, not calculus. Middle school biology, AP. Where's AP
Because
math?
he's only supposed to be taking like I think algebra 1, but he took that in like fifth grade, and then he took geometry or something.
So you're doing trig, right?
Yeah, well, it's geometry and trig, or since it's the second semester, he's doing trig. The first semester he did geometry. This semester he's doing. It's just an introduction to trig.
But look
It's
at all
not
this
even kind of
different
a
stuff that you can go through, and you can like Google search to get information to tell him about, and you've got these different
Oh yeah,
practice
I use
lessons.
Google. I use Google all the time to. Oh, I hate them fucking graphs.
I know, I'm just telling you that because if you don't know how to do it, you can say, do it for me, and it'll show you, and then you can do
Yeah.
another one. So I'm just saying this site helped me and Brittany more than you would ever know. You can put in like your Gmail address, you can log in, and you can like talk about the courses that he's taken, and they'll send you updates when they've got new stuff out. It's just I'll text it to you. It's definitely a win. I use it. I use it for a lot of stuff when I was using Google Analytics and learning how to do that outside of Google. What's your affiliate link for this program? I don't have an affiliate link for that, buddy. I've got only a few affiliate links, and they're only affiliate links for things that I believe in. And the one that I wasn't sure about was this Lockerbie, and I'm still not sure about it because it's too big. It's a Lockerbie field guide. They make a little one, and they make like a knife tool, but it's this waxy, waterproof stuff that you can put these little, just I put my YouTube ideas in there. It's like $24, and my jury's out on it because it's kind of big, but I have a DLT link because I love buying stuff from DLT. I was tickled to get it. I've got a GP Knives link. Unfortunately, I've got a Blade.
Kyle, for you, just for you, he got a Zeus X link also where you get a discount on your zoophilia.
The only Lite people that have reached out are Woobin, and I have no idea what's going on with them. And I want to say Surefire, and I think they're sending me something to review and told me I could. One of them hadn't come out yet, and they asked, which I think's fair. If you see something you don't like, would you share it with us? Would you mind doing that?
Well, that's definitely. I mean, that to me is 100% above board.
And that's what review I think should be. I don't
Yeah.
say, and when you're ready for it to go prime time, send it back to me and I'll review it. I don't think there's anything to be gained from doing a negative review for a product that people are sending out to say, help us make it better.
But I can tell you, this just, my personal opinion is it'd be hard for Surefire to fuck something up.
Did you get that goddamn, did you see that video from my favorite anti-social knife reviewer about TRM's fixed blade?
I saw somebody had one about that, but I don't know who the damn antidote.
Well, I'm going to show you because I thought it was ridiculous.
Because I watched somebody's video
So
on that
she
like
took the damn
a week or
thing
two ago.
and she whacked it through. She wanted a baton with it. It's a TRM, and
That's like a
it's
paper
called the.
thin. Oh no, I did not
That's
see
it.
hers.
It's well, she's
I
pointing
saw
out
somebody
her
else's
knife,
review on it.
and then she did a follow up where she showed DMs that she sent back and forth with Emily that meant just hurt her feelings. You don't show that stuff, but watch this because she whacks it on the concrete and then bitches that it got chipped because she's
No, I did not. I did not watch her video. It was somebody else's video on the TRM fixed
and
blade, but I
the
don't remember
funny thing
who.
is I did one
Well, I listened to it. I didn't watch it.
and I took it to Jeff because I wanted him to feel it too because she talks about how the grip is unusable, and I thought it was one of the most comfortable full size, and it's not full size, it's 5 inches. I told him if they made one
Yeah.
with a 3-inch blade, I'd be all over it. But it fits your hand great, and she keeps pointing out her knife. But let me find this because it's so negative. Let me go to you.
Well, I don't want to see it because
No, it's to me
she
shows
has
you don't have to do that. You could have reached out. Those people are your friends and have always sent you stuff because they value your opinion. So when you do something and you don't like it, you call them and you ask them about it.
Here's the thing about it though is you got to take into account, and I wouldn't even give her the press. I would turn it off and wouldn't even talk about her. But you got to realize that she's the same person that
Beat on
a year ago got called out by Shane, or maybe 2 years ago, got called out by Shane for bashing some fucking knife company and how their knife was a piece of shit and never called them, never said anything to them.
And that's
And so the fact that she did it again.
Well, no,
and
she did this, and I'm telling you, I sent them a message. Don't that a lot of people listen to her, a lot of people don't change it because she was like, "Oh my God, we've got to change the name of it." I was like, "No, you don't. There's more to camping than just batoning. I mean, call it just the red line fixed blade." But what she does is she bitches because it doesn't go through. Now the Essie does, of course, it's thick. And then she's like, okay, I can't hold it. It hurts my hand. And I think it feels great. And I'm going to show you why. And Jeff, who's got a much bigger sausage hand, and she goes,
See
she ain't got a fucking callus on her hand. Of course it hurts.
No.
There's a.
And
I got more calluses from jacking off than she's got.
So let's see what we have for an edge now.
And
we've got some pretty significant chipping.
You know what? She's got significant chipping up
It's
front.
not a goddamn batoning knife.
She banged it into the goddamn concrete floor. So then she goes
That's
through.
the thing is, I've spent plenty of time out in the woods. You know, I'm from fucking Mississippi. That's what you do. And
you've usually got a different knife for batoning or for chopping. If you're going to be around any kind of,
I'm not going to put. I'm chopped with a fucking knife because somebody on the fucking internet told me I was supposed to. That sucks.
But
it's
see this
dumb.
little swell here on the front?
I'd rather use an axe or a fucking saw.
See that little swell on the front? How it kind of tapers back? That is so comfortable. It automatically puts your finger right where you want it. And if you want to slide it up a bit, you can. And let me show you what I cut with it.
But you don't baton on concrete.
No, and if you're going to baton,
it's just like there's two things you don't do. You don't baton on concrete, and you don't have sex on carpet.
Unless you like rug burns, dude. It's like a weed, but it's like this hard maple. I can't even tell you how rock-like this is, but I did all this with that camp knife. I was trying to do the stick challenge, and then I lost interest because of my ADHD brain. I was getting ready to get this a little thinner to do a hole through it, and I was like, fuck that. But anyway, then she comes back, and I shouldn't be. This isn't gossip. This is just what I consider to be what I would never do, not because I don't want to be truthful. I don't think it's helpful to the community. I don't think it's
Your
helpful.
issues with the handle and some chipping at the front
The
of this
chip-
knife and the
And this is what she does that I think's unexcusable. Find it. Where is it?
better. And you know, just
And then she compares it to her knife, of course. But where was it?
Well,
Where's the text messages? Did she
a
take
knife that
those
I'm
out?
going to be using.
she probably took them out because she's worried about getting in trouble for it.
She did put them out.
Because
She had DMs for, and I
I'm
told
sure, I'm sure if you go and dig through her comments, people are like, well, you probably chipped the blade hitting the concrete.
Again, I'm trying to
Concrete
pretend
and
we
blades
are
don't go
using this
good
for a
together.
camp trip, and that is what
no,
I've
they
been doing
don't.
camping.
They
I
don't.
was, if I just wanted
And it just seems like you would reach out and go, "Hey, I've just got some." But she's got. I mean, they love it. They love her, love her, love her, love her. And maybe she
Well, there's a
doesn't
lot of
like.
dumb motherfuckers in this world, so
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't show negative comments.
that's completely possible too. See, that's the thing
But
is
I
I
got
don't, you know, you had asked me about reviewing knives before. I would never review knives because the way I look at a lot of the stuff is I don't look at, like I got a Becker BK7. It's got a 7-inch blade that's like a 1/4 inch thick. I'm not going to go baton with that.
this is
And
a
the reason I'm not is because I'm not because it sucks. Yeah, if the zombies fucking attack, we might cross that road then. But
well,
I've done it before.
we're gonna have other
It fucking
EC
sucks.
items for that.
But I'm just saying, right? Because like my go bag, you know, that I carry a lot of time, most of the time, everywhere I go, I got a fucking Kershaw folding saw in it. You know, that I've had for 15 years now or some shit, 12, 13, 14 years. I don't know. I've had it forever.
You can't read this, but it says valuable input. I am a TRM
So,
fanboy and definitely appreciate your insight and honesty about the red line. I don't know that the ergos would bother me as much with larger hands, but I certainly see your arguments. The chipping is a bigger issue to me, but I still wonder if it was just a burn edge near the tip, as you suggested possible. That being said, TRM is not an outdoor knife specialist like Essie, so early bumps and bruises are not overly surprising. I would guess they will take your criticism in stride and tackle the issue. That's a well worded complaint. Let's see what her reply is. I hope they make an improved version. I hope they make a smaller version. I thought it was a great knife. An absolute, but I mean, it's just
but what's the knife made out of? What's the steel?
20 CV.
Yeah, okay, that's a fucking brilliant steel to be whacking on wood with.
Well, you
That's
know,
not what the steel's for.
like
I
she
don't care what
said,
they heat treated it to.
but she called it a
You're,
camp knife because the people, Emily, if you knew those three girls at TRM, camp knife for
I've
them
met them before, but I don't
it's
know
probably prepping food around a campfire. It's
them. In a
probably
fucking RV.
fire sticking, feather sticking a little wood, not
Well,
batoning, you know, not heavy shit like that. They're looking at it more of a, and dude, it's thick. This thing is, hold on a second. Let me
there's
take
a
a picture.
reason Essie uses 1095. There is.
Right. Exactly right.
And it's because 1095 does great for a true outdoor knife.
And that's
There's
why they
no
coat it
stainless
so
steel.
thick.
There's no stainless steel that really does great. Essie even tested their own knife when they made one out of S35N, which is a way better outdoor steel than 20CV is, and it broke. It did not handle near this amount of stress that the 1095 did. There's a reason that all of your true camp knives, just about, I won't say all of them, you know, but a huge number of your true outdoors knives designed by real outdoor fuckers are made out of 1095, 1085, 1075. You know, they're made out of those kind of steels. And it's because those steels, it's not because they're cheap steels. It's because they do the job
Well,
and have
listen to
done
this.
the job for decades
Listen
and
to
done it
this
well.
description. Marianne and Les Halpern, owners of the Halpern Titanium and TRM, have been riding the red line in their knife business since 1997, and everything manufactured at Halpern and TRM has been pushed to the limit for quality. Our field action fixed blade goes back to many years. We have answered customer requests for a new model with, quote, not in the plans, unquote. Well, as many of you know, TRM's history, we changed our minds for 2024. Our 0.160, what do you call that thickness? That's the thickness of the spine. Is that 16,000th, or is, if you say 0.160 inches?
It's
I don't know how to read
right.
that. It's almost a
It'd be
quarter. It's under a quarter of an inch.
no, it'd be like an eighth of an inch.
Right. But like when Jared and
'Cause
stuff like that says 16 thousandths, or
an eighth of an inch would be like 1.675, I think, or something like that.
so they even describe it.
Like
Perfect
1.875.
will be perfect for food prep. Thanks, Donovan. Hiking and other outdoor activities. Can't call it a pry bar, but definitely stronger than our typical 0.090 inch folder blades. So it's, almost twice as thick as that. Overall
Yeah,
dimensions 9.3, thickest point on handle. So they're not putting it off as drive it through wood, right?
yeah, no, they're saying it's a camp. See, that's the thing is that there's what she's the SC knife is a bushcraft knife, kind of. It's not even truly a bushcraft knife. It's a true survival knife. It was designed by guys that train in fucking Central America and South America for jungle survival. And so it's a true survival knife. It's not even a bushcraft knife. Uh,
Yeah.
but a lot of your axes are made from like 1050 steel, I think, David.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm looking it up right now. It says,
but uh,
let's see what it
bushcraft
says.
knives are, like the Nessmuk. They are a thinner knife, but they're usually differentially hardened. So the back is tougher than to handle the stress.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and so they're more designed for that, but they're damn sure not made out of 20 CV. That is a knife that you look cool as shit at your fucking, RV camp cutting up your fucking chicken.
Right. Or because like I had really good luck
Huh?
I had really good luck feather sticking. Like if I was going to try to make a fire with this, I could have made a fire with this. Or if it was softwood, I could have feather sticked the shit out of it. I mean, maybe I couldn't have chopped into it. It's good, but I think I could have. Um, but it worked through this stick pretty well, and I used it to scoop, not just to cut, but to scoop, and then did the paper test. It had one little place on it that I was able to strop
But
out.
it's not designed for that though. It's designed to look good at the camp with your friends sitting around drinking beer around the grill at the fucking RV camp.
My
You
only
know,
feedback, my only feedback to them was, and they don't have to do anything about it now, and they don't have to do anything about it ever, but they say they're going to on the next run. It's very sharp. Where is it? That's me whacking on it. You ever see me do an edit? That's me doing an edit, cutting the shit. I don't even have it on film. Let me share it. With this knife. All right, guys. Let's see if we got it. Yeah, guys. After cutting, I'll show you where it's really sharp. Hard maple or whatever that. See this right here, where this G10 joins the steel. Where the
well, it's
G10.
hidden behind me and you,
Let's see if I can get a little bit. Stick is that I'm working on. When I set it down.
where you've got our pictures is across the bottom. And
Here,
so
one thing I suggested God damn it. Is where does us to see a fixed blade come out and very
now hit pause.
fuck.
You're slow as fuck with pause.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
See right here? Right where that G10 comes up?
Yeah.
It
It's
it needs
sharp
to be
corner.
knocked down. Yeah, it just needs to be knocked down just a little bit. But I told
I
him
love the way it looks though.
dude, it's a great knife. If you want to check it out, let me
Look,
know. But I told
anything
him
by TRM is great.
if
It,
they
you know,
took that exact same knife and made it maybe a 3.7-inch blade, maybe just a little bit bigger than this, because that one's 5 inches, and called it the Field Duty or the Redline EDC, I think it would be a banger.
you
But
just want something to stick in your pocket.
I love small fixed blades, man. I mean, literally. Uh, I don't know if you've seen this guy. He's about to start making knives again. Where is it? Where is that little bastard? I was going to break down something and sharpen something for you guys.
Well, I'm fixing to have to go to bed, so you'll get to sharpen.
Dude, so you're getting up early and working, huh?
Yep.
Well, at least you got the family support that you need. I know they love it, and they look out for you and make sure you got what you need when you get up.
Oh, they'll all
Well,
be asleep. They ain't worried about me getting up. As long as I don't wake them up, they're fine.
thought I had it in my back pocket, but I guess I don't. But anyway, it is a little. It's similar to this knife, but it's a lot thicker. It's 3V. It's called, not this one. This is called a handcraft little prick, just a little slicer. But this is
Yeah.
called the Savant Knives Simpleton. And you can't find his website's gone, his Instagram's gone. But Palmer did some research for me and found out that he's got a personal Instagram. And if you look on it, it says, "Get ready 2024. I'm going to start making knives again." And he makes these little knives with these G10 handles that are similar to this. So they really grab your hand, and they've got this
Yeah.
little ball at the end. So even if you can 3-finger it, it just locks in, and it's got
Yeah.
a 3V blade, super thick, but it'll still cut. Just a cool little knife. Just a little badass, but I lost it. And then last night, Dark Gravity, if you'd been in, Colin McGuire stopped through the live.
And say that's a badass looking knife there.
Dude, he's in Maine. He is so humble because we went to his Instagram page, and I was talking him up before he came in. But then when he came in, I showed this, and I did. You can't really see it under light, but if you have the lights off and put this thing under black light, whoops.
He's got the glow.
Oh, dude, it doesn't glow because he just did one that's on his site that has the actual glow carbon, but this one
Yeah.
definitely lights up. But
So
it's
it's
just
the UV sensitive.
yeah, but like you tell him, like every time I post this, or he'll put a knife up on Instagram, and I'll say, "Dude, that's just awesome." And other people comment, and he always comments back, "You don't know how much that means to me. Thank you." I mean, when I met him in Nashville, and I met him with Beer to Gear at Blade Show, but it was so hectic there, I didn't really get to kind of feel his vibe. But he is the kindest, most laid back guy, and if you check him out on Instagram, I'm so bad at telling how old people are, but I'm guessing he's probably in his 30s. It looks like he's got a young wife and a couple of young kids. But he also makes his own Damascus. So a lot of what he does, and I specifically asked for something more plain. Is it ABEL? How do you say that steel? I always get it wrong.
I always say the letters. You know,
What are the letters? Is it ABEL or something?
there's ABEL steel. I mean, I'm sure there's probably something else similar that's,
Yeah. This one's
but the one I
CPM
know of, the kitchen,
154.
huh?
This one's CPM 154, but look at this handle. See the green liners? Check this
Yeah.
out. That's
I
that
say that's
glow
cool as
carbon.
shit.
That glow carbon. But dude, these knives are again handmade in Maine. And then when you look at these, I don't like the loud and proud handles. I like these to be more, but that's the style.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
mean, that's just different taste, different
look at his
flavors.
Damascus, and then you go down here. Here he is, super nice guy. I mean, totally humble, appreciative. But check this out. I mean, so when he gets ready to make his Damascus, he's making it.
Yeah,
So I mean, he's the real deal. And I mean, he makes kitchen knives, and he'll usually put them up. And this is the one that says EDW that I just fell in love with when Beard of Doom got it. But you can reach out to him. He's just somebody. I mean, I have no affiliation with him. I think he's a super cool guy. He made this slip joint. Check this out. He had this in Nashville, but I don't think he sold it. And I don't know how to fast forward these. I want to see it get open. Because I think making a slip joint's on a totally different level. And his
oh,
stuff
they're
is
way
so
harder to make.
his stuff is so unique. Look at the look of this knife.
That's why I've said it 1,000 times. Knife companies screw you on the price of their fixed blades.
Look at that. I mean, is that not just one of a kind?
That is cool. Because
Yeah, so
fixed blade knives are a lot easier to make than folders.
they are. You
So
know,
when you,
were you on with Shane last night? Have you know Shane's got 10 knives in heat treat right now.
I knew he was making knives. I didn't know he had them in heat treat.
Check out that little guy. I don't like it, but it looks like it'd be good for something, right?
Cutting my finger off.
But he does some neat stuff. Small maker out of Maine. I think it's just him and one other guy. And they will make these kitchen knives. And this one doesn't do much for me. I do like the full handle better than the partial handle. But it's just about the same size drop point. But this EDW, when I saw it at Blade Show, I knew I had to find one because they are just so beautiful. And it was like right around $300, which is a lot for a fixed blade, but to be handmade. And if you look at the swedge, what if you look at the detail, it's just done exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And I appreciate voting for people that do cool stuff. I did put a discreet carry clip on it. And the other guy that I've met, and then I'll get off this, Simonson. And this is because Jeff bought one of his knives. Have you seen this one? Did we talk about this already?
Simeon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we talked about that every week for weeks.
Yeah, and I'm trying to decide if he makes a bigger knife, but I'm having a hard time because he's a young dad getting in touch with him. Because I was going to invite him on the show to kind of talk about what he did, but I'm not getting anywhere. But yeah, I can scroll this shit for hours. This is my favorite right here. This little guy. Check the steezy little bastard out.
Well, I'm fixing to go to bed, John.
All right, buddy,
Everybody.
let me stop sharing because I'm going to go in and talk to
Oh,
people and we're going to sharpen a knife or do something. I'm going to find out what we want to do. Buddy, thank you for coming in. Get in touch with
yeah.
me for a Blade Show. We'll figure something out.
Oh, yeah. I'll come by and get you and we'll go.
Good night, my man.
Everybody have a good night.
Peace, brother.
See y'all.
See ya. So, guys, are y'all interested in me showing you how easy it is to sharpen a knife on this TS Prof? Or would you rather just keep shooting the shit? Or would you rather me take apart this Vostede raccoon button lock and us look at it together and putting it back together? What do you guys think? Because it won't take us much time to do any of those things. I've got a mash that we could sharpen. I've got a bigger field knife that we could sharpen. Shit shooting Palmer. I got you, brother. I would think I'd probably have to go up to about 20 degrees on that. But what's so cool about it, and I'll show you guys how it works, because I've got it set right now. I think it's 17 degrees. My Jaeger is an OG Jaeger, which is my favorite Jaeger because Lord Needham was nice enough to send me two with the option to buy one that had the flipper tab, which I really liked. But what I did not like, which is petty because I'm usually not like that, I like the frame lock for one, but I did not like that little miscellaneous screw that's somewhere on that knife. And then I figured, would I sell this? It's got Zerk. I just recently kind of pimped it out. I doubted I would sell it, and I didn't need to. You know, I'm trying to make better decisions. Plus, I'm broke. But I love, 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 love that knife. Um, let's see what I was going to show you guys. Let's say I was going to sharpen my little Magna Cut TRM is not as sharp as my 20 CV. So I take some of this painter's tape and I put it on the blade just so I don't clamp into it. I don't take my blades off when I sharpen them. And I used to use soapy water, but don't anymore because it scratched up one of my blades, my blackened blades. But then I go in here and I slide this stick in like this. And what I want to see, I need to put some oil or put my new screws in. All right, so then I take my level finder just to make sure I'm still where I need to be, which I'm sure I am. Right about 16. So up just a hair. All right. I've got it right between 16 and 17. So then what I do, move that back. Let's see if I can get this over a little bit. Can y'all still hear me? And I know we're going to shoot the shit. This won't take but a second. So right now, two, three, four, five, six. So it's got these micro adjustments, right? So I just set it to 6 millimeters because my first plate is this Atomi or Atoma, which is thinner than my other plates. So I'm just going to use this real quick like. Hold on 1 second, kids. And if this doesn't get loose, real quick, we won't mess with it. But I think the little lube a little more lube. Motherfucker out of there. All right, now I'm going to put my Atomi on there. My angle set. And I've got this set up with 4-inch stones, but it'll work with 6-inch, which would be easier for me. So I'm just going to give it about 10. Then we'll get into the knees. And this one's Magna Cut that I'm sharpening now. So let's see if we got a burr. Yes, we do. All right. So I'm going to flip this over. And then I'm going to adjust for my Venise. So I'm almost done with this one. Spend a little more time on the tip and on the heel. One more pass. All right. All right. So we are almost done because I don't take these guys very fine. So now I'm going to take off my Atomi. And what you'll notice is the Venise are thicker by 2 millimeters. So to keep my angle straight, I've got this little dial, which each click is a 0.5 millimeter. So if I go 7, 8, 9. So now I've gone to 9 millimeters, which these are 2 millimeters higher. So now I take my coarse Veneve and I work down from there. Not putting any pressure on it, just letting the stone do the work. Almost done. Because that first stone is really what sharpens it. Everything else just kind of refines the edge. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yep. With that. See, with that little lever, it just flips it. You don't have to readjust it. Going to 7. 8. 9. 10. And I'm never rolling over that tip. I always keep that tip split. All right. So we're going to take that stone off. The rest of our stones are the knees, so we don't have to change the thickness. Oops. Come in, mother. Okay. All right, so our next one is an F240. I'll flip this back over. Do a couple of passes on here. Again, just taking that scratch pattern down. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we're going to real quickly throw on some tunes, and then I'm going to finish up. Action. And I'm only going to go one more stone from this. I like to keep a little toothy. Three. I'm not going all the way over my tip. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right. So now we're done with this stone. We got our burr. These are excellent stones, by the way. And then this may be the last one we use. This is our F400. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I should just have this on my table. 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do this. Do a little flipsy. We're almost done, guys. Lock this in. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we've got a tiny burr. We just need to kind of even out those edges. So I'm going to go up one more grit, but I'm only going to use it to kind of hone it out. Give it a couple of passes on each side because I don't have my strop over here. So, 1, 2, 4. We're almost done, guys. Then we'll test it. One more each side. All right. All right, let's see what we got. But yeah, I have no affiliation with TR Prof. I had a work sharp before this, and I still got a spike coat. This is a great sharpener. The rod. Take that screw all the way out. Sorry, guys. I'm doing a little quick maintenance. And then we'll check our edge, and then I'll put this away. I apologize for getting off on a tangent. That's what you call hyper focus. It's not a good thing. Especially if you're trying to have a relationship. It doesn't work well. They think you're not interested. When you're just very interested, it just happens to be something else at the time. Like a squirrel. Let's do this. These screws are a little bit on the rusty side, so we're going to leave them up, get the rust off, crud off. And then we are going to move on to bigger and better things. And if y'all don't want to see me take the raccoon apart, I won't do it. I don't have any more skiffs, which is usually when I take knives apart. I thought about putting my Mannix 2 scales back on with the liners and then doing a demonstration of how I switched out the rock scale linerless. But I remember that being kind of a pain in the ass. And I always feel like going back doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Grosjean, be safe, brother. All right, so now I'm going to take a drop of oil. This is air gun oil, by the way. I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to take this one. Put some in there. And close these bitches up. Boom. Boom. All right, guys. What I'm going to do, because I don't have a strop, I am going to get this honing stone, which is my all right. Let's see what we got. Take our tape off. The only reason I put the tape on there, even though the clamps aren't supposed to jack it up. Ooh, almost cut my finger. Let's do this. Boom. All right. And this is my least slicey TRM yesterday. But when you've got a thin blade grind and you stick around that 17, 16 and a half degrees, it takes very little. That's what's great about a Jack Wolf knife. It takes so little to bring that edge back to razor sharp. But that's the TRM Prof. I highly recommend it. I've got another sharpener that I'd probably sell really cheap. It is a, let me show you what it is. I may throw this on NAF too. But this is the Spyderco Tri-Way, which has a medium and a coarse stone, and then it's got these guide rods, and you can set it at 2 different angles. And then there's more. Since I'm a knife junkie, it comes with fine ceramic and a silicone carbide stone. And I bought the extra fine honing stones, which are super, super fine. And then I bought, that have never been used, the diamond, and these are sold individually. The Spyderco Diamond Tri-Way stones. So you've got 3 sides. They're all the same grit, but one of them has like a fish hook thing, if that's your game. And it comes with a CD, but it's basically a sharpener. When you set it up, you just go down with your knife and hit each side. I used it for till the Work Sharp came out. But if anybody's interested in this, hit me up, because I haven't posted it yet, but I don't use it. I'm TR Prof all the way. So this is the sharpening system with the 2 stone kits. So the only thing you could get is nickel boride stones, which I don't know why you'd want that if you've got diamonds. So yeah. John, shoot me an email, buddy. We can work something out, man. I'm in no rush. Shoot me or not an email, or you can shoot me an email at John or Javon's Knifeflix. I always forget what that is. Javon's Knifeflix at gmail.com, just like my channel name. Louis, Tactical Terry, what is up? Josh, what I did, because I got my Work Sharp, I hooked Paul Mills up with that, but the Work Sharp comes with that little triangular abrasive that has a 300 to 600 and a ceramic. Well, Gridomatic, let me show you, sells a little attachment for the Work Sharp, which I bought, and I've actually bought 2. I bought the first one that was plastic, but the one you want is, let's see this. I'll show it to you when I get it pulled up. Hold on, bear with me, guys. I don't want to show you something that's not. Where is stone holders? That's what I want. All right. Present, share. All right, so this is the one I had for 4-inch, but you could also do a 6-inch stone. So this little guy will go right over your work sharp, and it allows you to use any stones you want. So you're not stuck to the work sharp stones. And then if you don't want to spend that much, if you don't want to spend 23 bucks, you can spend 13 and you can get this little plastic one which works just about the same. The only thing you have to do here is if you're using differing thickness on your stones, you've got to compensate your angle for that. And the other thing they make for the work sharp, which I had, and I'm a big fan of it. It went with the system, but they make this little brace. I think y'all can see my TS Prof wiggling on this table. Let's go. Work, sharp, precision, stabilizer. But let's see if that pulls it up. Yeah. So this little thing right here, it's $3.70. This is a great little investment because what it does is when you get your stone in there and you get it set up with your blade in it, you can wedge this underneath there, and then it keeps this from moving up and down. It kind of gets it more stability. But that's the stone that comes with it, right? The one that you can switch around, the triangle or the tri-way. But if you go with one of these, this is the one I actually had, the Gritomatic, except I had the 4-inch. Where is it? I actually had both because I had one of the plastic ones too, but mine doesn't look like this. Mine looks like this, except it's 4 inches. And it just slides right over your rod, and then you can put 6-inch stones in it. So just ways to up your game, you know, again, as long as you're comfortable. I wish I'd always started hand sharpening. I started to do more on my fixed blades, on my slip joints, and on a lot of my regular sharpeners. I use my Work Sharp Field Precision. I need to get a regular bench stone, but when it gets down to it, I can use this guy. I wonder. All right, that's 19 degrees. Let's see what's going on at Blade Binge. I've got a knife over there that if any of y'all want, y'all just tell me and I'll pull it off there and I'll sell it for less. I have to put it up here because it's got shipping and I've got to pay the fees. But it's a great deal on a very niche knife. Quiet Carry 9, that's what I'm carrying today. That's a little high. Spartan Heartsea. Chris Reeves. Ooh, a Lamia. A Black Friday. $8.50, I think. If that's a Black Friday, that's crew wear. Some of that knife closed. I think it's crew wear if it's Friday the 13th, but I could be wrong. But yeah, if you guys go to Blade Binge and y'all use the code Javon10, and I think I've got a link in my see, I don't see this. I just I don't know. $500 seems like a lot. But if y'all use Javon10 in my link, you will save 10% on any of this Blade Bench stuff. The Jaeger. I've always wanted to try Maverick S. But you'll sometimes find some really good stuff here. Now see, I see these as being kind of expensive when you can buy a brand new one for $4.25. Let's see if my PMP is still on here. Yeah, I'm not getting much love on it, but it's such a niche knife. If any of y'all want it, send me a email. I'd even trade, and I'll give you a much better deal than that. I love that. That's the variation I really like. I wasn't that crazy about the carbon fiber, but that one that's the frame lock is just awesome. I've got to start watching Forged in Fire. My buddy A to Z EDC says I really need to watch it. Kevin, what I do, and this is probably not the way to learn. That was close. So what I use is this Work Sharp guided field sharpener. It's like $24. It's got a coarse edge. It's got a smooth edge. It's got a ceramic rod, and it's got a strop. And what's cool about it is it's got these guides that you can literally line up. I'm on the smooth side now. And the same thing on the hone. It changes the angle just a little bit. But they say if you use these in your hand, it'll kind of convex it out. But the one I like, and they make better sharpeners for sure, but they make this Work Sharp that has a little rotating base. Let me find it. Let's go bench top. This one right here. See, it's got the same guides. This might not be the right one. Let's see if this one moves. Let's see, use guys. Yeah, pivot response. So this base moves. And then they also make that one. I don't like that. That's kind of like my Spyderco, but you do it the other way. And they make this one, which also has the angled guides, but I think it's fixed. It doesn't have that rotation. So this would be more if you really wanted to get into bench sharpening with the work sharp system. But if you were going to go with a work sharp system and you didn't want the little field sharpener, which I think is probably the best value, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This little guy's great because you can replace these. And you can hide shit in there. And it does work. But I went to sharpen a couple of field slip joints when I first got into slip joints. And I got, I put them on my TS Prof and totally jacked them up. So I started hand sharpening them, and then I started hand sharpening all my fixed blades. Because even though I can put them on the TS Prof, John, that's for hitting the entire edge of the blade. You don't need to lift your wrist. So I can just give it a straight like that. Because a couple of sides on the course, you quit feeling the resistance. And then you can switch over. This is Magna Cut. This is one of Luck Knight's first squalls. And you can go to this smooth plate. And I usually finish here. I don't go to the ceramic. Do y'all ever do therapeutic cutting? Am I the only guy that sits in front of a Amazon box on a Saturday or Sunday watching creeping and live streams and just cutting paper? Okay, so that's for, I got you, Todd. So that's not for helping you keep your angle. I know it doesn't, but does it help you keep your angle steady? I can't remember. I watched a video on it a long time ago. Again, the TS Prof was a little bit more. I think I got this for $285 because it was just the TS. And then I bought the 360 kit, and I bought the upgraded stone holders, upgraded clips. I basically made it a 360, but this sharpener is foolproof. I mean, it's just perfect. Except I need to get smaller clips for my, yeah, that's true, Jeffrey. Now, knock on wood. Yeah, paper slicing therapy is so good, Louie. I mean, it just feels, and like when I do unboxings, I usually cut them. And that's why I say the sharpest knife that I've ever gotten from the factory was that Microtech Stitch. But when you get that knife and you go to cut that paper and you can't even feel it going through it, it's just like the paper separating. To me, that's just amazing. This knife's a convex edge, but I don't know what that means. Jared said I could just sharpen it on my field sharpener because it's a little small guy, but this is the Micro Canadian. Do y'all know about something like that? I know I wouldn't want to sharpen it on my fixed system. But would y'all just use like that little field sharpening system and just kind of feel the grind as you hunt it up, or just a strop? It looks like a flat, but when you read it on their page, it says it's a, let's see if I'm calling it right. Let me go to it. Hold on. Micro Canadian. It is somebody told me, I forgot who it was. Hold on. And these things are all over the board, depending on the handle material. Hang full, blade steel, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's do this. Where's Bark River site? Convex. So it says field dressing, blah, blah, blah. This little big knife design stress maximum edge control with its full tang, 3-finger grip, allowing you to leverage on the very tip of your blade, blah, blah, blah. The 2.10 blade is perfect size for small chores, all the way to field dressing. So if it's a convex grind, basically I have no shoulder at the bevel. There is no shoulder at the bevel. So would you just basically roll it across your stone or across your strop? Because there is no discernible bevel. Great little knife, though. This is a knife I didn't think I'd carry much because it came with this sheath. Even though you can put an ulti-clip on this sheath, which I really like this leather sheath because it has the eyelets if you wanted to mount it in your pocket. But this thing rides on your belt so high, you don't even feel it. So tactical carry, would you just like, if you grind, if you're sharpening a convex grind, you probably won't do it on a fixed system, but what's the difference? I've heard people say that's what belts naturally do, but Jared made it sound like if you held the stone, it's naturally going to kind of go with your hand if you're paying attention to where you're sharpening it, but I don't know. I could always send it to Kyle Coonley, but I don't know if he takes words of encouragement for payment. The wrist trick is apparently now locking your wrist, not No, I always feel like, and even when I didn't sharpen well, I always felt like you kind of wanted to feel, and I could be wrong, but when you got your blade bevel on the stone, you want to let your wrist kind of go with that, so you're not feeling any roughness. But I'm not. Have a little flex in your wrist. I got you. So tactical terry, do you use a bench stone? I mean, I think everybody that does really real freehand, you want the bench stones, the holder, so you can really get down and have it flat, right? I'm guessing that's the goal. And guys, I'm going to probably give this away Friday night. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find her page. We'll get y'all started. Hold on. Let's go to YouTube and let's go to MTGEDC. All right, and her husband are huge knife people, and I've enjoyed chatting with her and Knight's Edge quote or comments. But y'all go give her a sub. It won't affect the giveaway because we're going to find a video to leave comments on. But she's the one that bumped into what's his name today? But if y'all are in here and you haven't yet, it's a small channel, and I'm going to put it in my community tab because I like to try to call out. I meant to do it last week, but I forgot because I'm terrible. Let's do this. Hey guys. I'm still here with y'all. Sorry guys, I'm just typing before I forget. So get a head start. All right. Let me get my spell check. Spell check. All right. Sorry, guys. MPGEDC. I do this. I'm sorry, guys. I can't multitask. I wish I could. Oh man, Nafaholics is live. I'm gonna stay here for a second because I've been ignoring y'all. that. Save that. Save. We'll go MPG. MPG. We'll go JPEG. And we'll put it in the pictures. And we'll post it and then we'll be done. And the things we do for people. But guys, she's a nice person. And she's very much active in a chat. And she seems to really just like knives. Her husband, I think, got her into it. And I think he's kind of encouraged her to do the reviews. All right, where'd she go? There it is. Boom, boom, boom. I'm back. Gracian, I think the whole thing about it is when I first started, I was real nervous and I was putting too much pressure on the stone. And I think because I saw Jared's trick and I could never really do the line on the finger thing because my brain doesn't work that way. But what I could do is hold the blade to where I wouldn't see light under it, where I knew I was on the bevel. And I could keep my wrist pretty steady, at least on that small stone. And it's just trial and error. Ask Pocket Metal about it. He's got my, I gave him my Growler V2, and it is, it's got a little funky tip. So does my voice sound a little bit more professional? I'm trying some of my, I want clout.
Is this one more cloudy? Clout, not cloud. So if I said, look at this fancy raccoon button lock from Vosteed, do I sound more?
Knowledgeable than if I go, hey guys, check out this Vosteed raccoon button lock. It is a banger. Or should I just go with my own hayseed voice? So many decisions. I never know. And I'm really just kidding. But let's see, because I did jack with my effects. Let's see if we can hear my explosion, because all I want is the explosion. I don't want a bunch of fancy shit. I just don't know why my trombone works. And we're going to try that first. All right. So the one that I think works, and y'all tell me if you hear this loud and clear. There it is. Did you guys hear that just like it was a sound effect? I'll play it again. Oh, I'm always going to stay natural, Scott Brew. I just do it to joke. But yeah, so Demonot could hear that one, but you can't, if I'm not mistaken, you cannot hear these applause, which all these are set up the same. They're all MP3s. Awesome, brother. So, Paul, did you hear the applause? So I've tried to set different stuff up, and I've been working with the people at Rode because they tell me I have no problems, and I can actually record it because, like, my human fart works. Demonite didn't hear that. How about the fart? No fart, no applause. Yeah, the applause never works. And then the flight attendant does. Tell me if y'all hear this.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure,
And that one sounds clear.
Place the mask over your nose and mouth as oxygen is flowing, even if the mask is not inflating.
Yeah, and you got to worry, drink water, that those are wet ones. I used to have to go check after mine, especially when she got older. So all my voice effects, like if I want to put delay on it, I can go, chicka chicka slinny shady, positive in a set of twin seats in the Mercedes Benz with the windows up, and the tint goes up to the mid 80s. So all those work. But then when my explosions, the one that I've downloaded that are same deal, y'all didn't hear that, did you? Or this one? The fart works, the trombone, and I want a sound that's kind of positive when somebody donates, but the only one like record scratch, I think you hear this a little bit, but that sucks. And then the air horn, I don't think you hear this either. Tell me if you hear the air horn. I don't think that's the one that Zach uses. Which would be fine if it worked. But then I've got the operator who could be our go-to. Where is he? Where is that? Biatch. Which one was loud? You could hear the air horn. Okay. Well, I can turn it down. What about the what about this glass breaking? Because the glass breaking, I think, is too weak, and the drums don't work. We'll figure it out. One of my favorites is this guy. Tell me if you can hear this.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold.
Cool. I'll figure it out because, like I say, the road guys, they're over in Taiwan or somewhere, and I sent them very specific questions. And the next day or that night, because I guess they're on different times frames, they'll always send me back an email with like 8 things to try, and they'll send me things that are specific to StreamYard. So they're trying to help me, and we've tested it because, like, when I record to the unit, all of the sound pads work. They don't understand why, unless one of the filters in StreamYard is keeping some of the ones from clipping. So, guys, let me see if Jody's going live tonight. I think he is. And here is who I want y'all to go sub to. I think I pinned her, and we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to leave her on the community page all week. And we watched her video early.
All right,
That's her and her husband.
we're live. Go ahead.
Hey guys, MPG EDC here with Nothing Fancy.
What's up?
But she's got some other videos, and we'll find one of her newer ones.
Good afternoon, YouTube. This is MPG EDC here. I have a little unboxing to do.
But she's got 135 subscribers, and I'd love to help her out. She's a good friend of our buddy the Night's Edge. Ed, what's up? I like the trombone too. And the one I like the best doesn't play because it came, and these are all effects that came with it. The other ones I've downloaded. But tell me if you can hear any of this music. No, nope. Fred or Fed, anytime you guys don't like the music, I had it last night. It's not in my future tonight, but I was going to check and see who's going live here shortly. Hold on. But that could change. Taco Bell around here is janky. So they'll tell you that they're open. You'll call, you'll get no answer. It'll show on Google places that they're open, and you go and they're closed, which to me is just unexcusable. So let's go to subscriptions. And let's see. All right. Nafaholics is not live anymore. Flossie Carter. Does anybody know if Big Red went live earlier? I don't think he did. I know he did last week. Let me go back over to home. And I'll just go to, yeah, Big Red is coming up. 7 waiting in 30 minutes, guys. So we'll go here for said faction. They went last night, Space Ghost. Those guys go Friday nights, and Lefty and I go every other Saturday. And Lefty's the one that told me that Stevie and Maddie were going to go the other every other Saturday. But they've never gone live because they go live Friday night, which I do too. But I don't know what their status is like next week. I don't go live on those weeks on Saturday nights. And Lefty's, like I said, he's been so busy lately. I totally get it. But yeah, I just like hanging out. And I think you'll see, and I know you guys hate, I saw today on the Night's Edge that people have unsubscribed, which is fine because I've done profile or portrait live streams. And the only reason I do those, and I've only now do them after midnight, I don't do them during my normal live stream times, but they reach so many more people, right? So it's a double-edged sword. That's why I do like 5 to 7 15-second shorts, not for my subscribers. That's why I do long form content that hopefully you guys like. But YouTube prioritizes shorts, and by putting them out into the algorithm, every day, if I upload 5 shorts, 2 to 3 of them will get over 3,000 views. Now, the good news is I pick up a lot of subs from that. The bad news is when you look at my analytics, I've got a lot of subscribers, but only 8% of the people who watch my videos come back and watch them again. So I know those aren't the people that are watching the long form. I wouldn't think. I would think those are a lot of the people, because the same people that come in from shorts are usually from overseas and they don't understand knife laws, and they're usually giving me a hard time. And I had my first weird thing happen yesterday and I deleted it. I did a video flipping my J cape in my car, but I was at the stoplight. You know, I used to always drive and flip. And I'm sitting at the stoplight, I'm flipping it, uploaded it to YouTube, got over to my buddy's house 5 minutes later, and it had the yellow monetization tag that it was not within guidelines for advertiser friendliness. And I'm sure somebody reported it. I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all saw Chuck's video today on YouTube where he's talking about Instagram being a pain in the ass and where are we going to go next in terms of, because he doesn't like Vero, which I get it because not many people use it. But I urge you guys, even though this is not part of our quiz for next week, for Friday, I urge you guys, if you're not subscribed to Chuck Nunface, subscribe to him and watch this video right here. It's talking about the Project X and Instagram sucks. So Big Red will be going live in about 30 minutes, maybe a little less than 30, right around 30. Hopefully, I won't fall right asleep. I feel pretty energized, so I hope to see you guys over there. You don't know how much I appreciate y'all hanging out with me because on Saturday nights and Monday night with Pocket Metal's family in town, he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it. I'm glad Dark Gravity got to stop by. I don't have a ton of stuff that's been coming in to show you guys, so I'm just kind of thinking of different stuff that y'all might want to see or do. But feel free to shoot me email, shoot me a DM, shoot me something on the community tab. Tell me what y'all'd like to see, what y'all'd like to do, whether it's different on Metal Mondays when I'm doing it, different on Saturday Night Live. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and this is something that my buddy A and Z and I were talking about today. Have y'all ever seen Stas's videos where he goes to his local knife shop and shows stuff off? He's got that relationship with his knife shop over in Louisiana. So I've got a Knives and More here, which is a shop that carries Benchmade, and he sells and buys Benchmade. So 80% of the people that buy Benchmades from him over the last 40 years, 30 years, however long, sell them back to him. So every time we go in there, you can find really rare stuff. But he also carries a lot of heirloom slip joints, carries Spyderco, carries fixed blades, carries cold steel. But I've thought about, even though I'm more of a tabletop guy, I thought about going to Knives and More and talking to John and seeing if I could do videos in his store, and then also going to St. Nick's Knives over in Athens, which is a big online retailer, and they've just recently expanded. They carry Chris Reeves and all kinds of stuff. And I know Dylan, their buyer over there. He's the one that sold me my Jaeger that he'd gotten on a drop. But do y'all think that would be cool, seeing different knife stores and talking to those people? I could paint happy trees, but I have no artistic talent. My daughter does. My daughter is an absolute wizard. That chick can draw. I, on the other hand, can't. Angry Tom, what's up, brother? I hope Seattle's treating you well. Yeah, I'm not as much wanting the shorts in landscape mode. It's just what the way YouTube would send it to us in our little emails was, if you go live in portrait mode, it's supposed to be more friendly for people who are used to watching TikTok videos where they just see the whole face on the screen and they can interact with it. And what YouTube said they would do for those creators who would try their portrait mode is they would present it in their shorts feed. So the shorts feed is what, when you're scrolling through, you see all the shit, right? And you'll stop on certain things. And I've subscribed to some channels doing that. But usually you just see weird stuff. But that's why what's, to me, funny about it, or fun, is doing it late night, like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when I do it. And I usually call it Insomniac's vertical screen. And you guys will always see on the thumbnail, I put a fucking caution sign because I got so much grief the first time I did it. I put a caution sign on the thumbnail and it says vertical stream, and it'll never happen before midnight. If you want to come in, great. Don't unsubscribe if you see it. I'm doing it because A, I'm casting a big net to see if anybody likes knife content that doesn't know about me. But I'm also a masochist, and I love when the 12-year-olds come in and start leaving crazy comments, because I can sit there and jack with them for a little while and tell people in the chat, don't ban them, don't put them in timeout, and then I'll always, if they keep going on, I'll be the one to put them in timeout. And I'll say, sorry, dude, you're in timeout. But usually I don't have to, because they're just kids. You think about the people that are on these apps or these platforms. We're not kids because we've got a niche that we're interested in, that we're passionately involved in. But if you go, like if I took you right now, whoops, I don't want to go there. Let me go here. Whoops, cancel. Let me find Kai. Let me find this guy who's been streaming for 100 hours. Most of his viewers are 12 or less. But on the other side, he is pulling in he's pulling in about anywhere from they said 30 to 70 grand per day on his streams, but right now he's doing a live marathon, or he was. Maybe it's on his Kick channel, but this dude right here.
This will revolutionize your shaving routine. All thanks
The only
to
reason I pointed out
manscaped.com and their enhanced.
Let me see Drake's story.
We are very insulated in the chat and the people that we know. These chats are blowing
Maritime
up.
Crody.
And this dude, let's see. Where was, because he was live all night last night. Let's see. But anyway, these people have their niche, right? And you've got these other weirdos, and I'm just sharing this with y'all so y'all know how bad it is. Miles Morales. Have y'all seen this dude? This is called TikTok NPCing. Watch this shit. Oh, that's just one of his angry ones. Let me show you him doing his regular thing. So they sit on TikTok and just get donations. That's not it. That's him running from the cops. Hold on. Let's. He breaks character every now and then, but he sits there and all he does, you know how video games have the little people at the end who celebrate, who do their thing, right? You know, and they win. That's what this whole NPC thing is. It is an absolute joke. I wanted to show you his regular thing, and then I wanted to show you him breaking character. I mean, he works like 12 hours a day, but he's making 7 grand a day on TikTok. So every time somebody gives him a certain gift, he has to do the same shit over and over, and that's why people give him shit. And he breaks character and goes, "Fuck." And he's about to go off on him. Because on one of them, he goes off on him and he goes, "Don't be giving me." Oh, God. He gets robbed there. Anyway, I'm going to get off this. This isn't funny. This is where he fucks with the cops. I'll get copyright struck, but watch this. He just ignores the cop. So he's making a shitload of money, 7 grand a day, and he's about to tell the cops to fuck off. Anyway, that'll strike me. That'll give me something to do later. Guys, I love all y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Was I not showing y'all anything? Guys, I'm such a slacker. And if Night's Edge is in here, which he's not, he messed up this morning and muted his mic for a second. And I told him every single live stream I've ever done. And I think Friday night was 73. I think 74 or Friday Night Flicks coming up next week. I have fucked something up every single time. And it's just part of it, right? And we all go through it. But guys, I love each and every one of you. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Try to stay up and hang out with JB. I'll try to be over there. I love each and every one of you. Please choose debate, not hate. I got Joe Isabella's work all over here. I mean, look at the glow in this thing. Be up, everybody. I love each and every one of you, and I will be available on stream Friday night or Monday night with or without Pocket Metal because I want to make sure we hold down the fort. And yeah, guys, I love you all. Get some music going for you while we fade out. And I will say, till we see each other at JB's, later.